Hi, my name is Sean Sands. I'm the digital marketing expert in web content at FindLaw, and I want to cover some of the basics of SEO today with you. So, SEO stands for search engine optimization, and at its simplest, it means exactly that. It's the idea of optimizing a web page or a website to be more likely to show up for certain words and phrases that people enter into a search engine. A search could potentially return thousands or millions of results, and search engines use an algorithm to decide in what order to show those results. SEO is an art, and it really is an art at times, of trying to get your site or page to show up near the top of those results for the kind of searches you want to attract. Now, what we're talking about here is primarily what we call organic search, and this is probably what most people think of when they think about the way search engines work. It's what I'll be mostly focused on, but it's important to remember there are also paid results, where a business has spent money to show up at the top of certain search phrases. As you dive deeper into online marketing, you'll want to learn a lot more about paid advertising, but for now, let's focus on organic search. And before you dive into the deep end of technical SEO, I want you to start with one basic philosophy, which is this: good website practices make for good SEO. The reality is that if you are focused on marketing something a user or customer finds useful and easy to work with, you're well ahead of the SEO game. Think about a site like Amazon and why it seems to show up all the time in search results for products. Sure, part of that is that Amazon is a massive company and spends loads of money, but they're not the only ones. There are plenty of massive companies with dollars to spend, so why Amazon? Well, the answer is that they've been around a long time and they've earned a lot of trust. It's easy to get to their website and find what you're looking for. People tend to enjoy their experience. So when it comes right down to it, that's not just good for Amazon. It's good for the search engine that sends you there. Those search engines want to give you results that you're going to like. Often, when people think about SEO, the first thing that comes to mind is keywords, and we'll dig into keywords later on. There's no question keywords are an important part of good optimization, but it's not where you should start. You should start with the basic ideas of what a search engine wants to provide for its customers. Let's say you're searching for a local restaurant. Which one of these is probably a better site to serve up to you in the results page? A site that is mostly about hotels, but for some reason has an article about a restaurant 100 miles from where you live, or the site for an actual restaurant that is local? That's relevance. That's how likely a page is to be related to what you're searching for. Search engines want to give you relevant results. How about a site that's hard to find your way around versus one that is laid out easily and illogically? That's architecture. That's making a site that loads quickly, that flows in a logical way, that has good links and navigation. Search engines prefer well-architected sites. What about a site from a new restaurant with a bunch of bad reviews versus a site for a well-reviewed restaurant that has been around for years? That's authority, how much you trust the site, how much the search engines trust the site. And no surprise, search engines want to give you authoritative sites. Perhaps most importantly, do you think a search engine is more likely to serve up a site that is difficult to use and people almost always leave as soon as they land on it, or one that's easy to use, where information is easy to find? It's user experience, and trust me, Google wants you to have a good user experience on the site it sends you to. Look, we'll get to keywords, and they're absolutely important, but in the long run, if you make a site that can't meet these objectives, then it's unlikely that great keywords are going to help you. Once you've got the basics down, you should keep digging into the more technical aspects of SEO. I know people who have been at SEO for decades, and they are still learning something new every day. That's partly because the internet changes every day. Search engines, their algorithms are constantly in a state of change. You definitely want to learn about creating good title tags and using smart headers, tagging your images, optimizing internal and external links. But the more you learn about creating good websites from the ground up, the more you'll learn how to do this stuff really well and really naturally. Don't forget, on-site optimization is only part of the deal. A big impact on how your site or business ranks on search engines is based on what happens off the site too. What sites link to you? How well your local profile matches the information on your site? How confident Google is that your business is actually where and what you say it is? Don't forget that stuff. Think of it like this. Google's a business, just like the business you might be working with in your project. They want to make their customers happy. And their customers are the people doing searches. If every time you went to Google, they sent you to a site that you hated and that seemed to have nothing to do with what you were searching for, are you going to keep coming back? A big part of convincing Google or Bing or Yahoo to send your business traffic is making sure that when they do, you're providing the experience, the information, the result that their customer, the searcher, wants. And this is good because it's mutually beneficial. When you make the customers that come to your projects and website happy, you're making Google's customers happy. If everything goes down the way it's supposed to, you both win. So, as we wrap this segment up, there's a few things I want you to keep in mind. First, begin with actual users, then worry about search engines second. It might seem weird to cap a segment about SEO without talking about search engines, but when your focus is on a great user experience, you're making the decision Google wants you to make. Also, don't fall into the trap of thinking about searchers always working on a desktop. The reality is there are now more searches on mobile devices than traditional PCs. Think about how often you search on your phone. Think about voice searches too. Next, when you're making a website, start with the logical stuff that people are actually likely looking for. Make information easy to find. Give people the things they are probably looking for, whether it's the hours your business is open or how much your products cost. Do that right away, and do that by writing good, unique, and relevant content. We will dive more into what that kind of content looks like soon, but content is how you communicate and motivate. Use it. Make sure your pages load quickly, and think about how often you've clicked the back button on a site because you were waiting for an animation or an ad or a video that you didn't care about. Search engines vastly prefer quickly loading sites. And finally, keep track of what you do and how you act. Where do you conduct searches? On what devices? And what makes you decide to leave or stay on a page? The more you think about how you and others act as consumers and customers of search engines, the better decisions you'll make. Until next time, I'm Sean Sands. I'm the digital marketing expert in web content at FindLaw. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you again soon.